our job is really to assist researchers find funding. So we connect researchers to funding. And we do this using an online platform, an e-resource where we aggregate funding for research, and we put it in one place for researchers to tap into. So we work a lot with research institutes. We work a lot with universities in Africa, connecting them to the essentially to funding. We do cover all disciplines that you can think of, but in terms of where the money is or where the need is, basically I would think of climate change. I would think of health and medical, HIV/AIDS and that, malaria research as well, but definitely medical is one of the most funded fields, if I could call it that, basically because it does interlink with a lot of other disciplines as well. The beyond aid for me is really to say Africa needs to invest in itself. So I like that theme, and I think what we are focusing on at Research Africa is really trying to find out who in Africa is funding research for African development, and that is key. And so partnerships are also becoming very important. Intra-Africa partnerships are becoming important to pool resources and to say, instead of funding separate projects, let's collaborate, and I like that. But I think what it does, what the Beyond Aid theme really does is say Africa needs to invest in its own R&D, and that's a great conversation and a great step for us. It's the future. At Research Africa, we work a lot with young academics who really, take on the baton, from your more senior researchers, and I don't have the statistics off the top of my head now, but if you look at the academy and academia, there's a big need to groom young academics, help them to establish their own networks in terms of their projects, help nurture them to be part of this big consortia type of research projects that allows them to really grow. And so for us, it's, I think, you have to look at the young people, you have to look at emerging academics and how you groom them for the future. Three themes. The one is definitely partnerships within Africa and globally. That's the one. And I think for Africa and for us here on the continent, it's really just having better coordination or leadership and vision around what we want to do, focusing and zoning in on the issues that we need to deal with, and on government levels, really putting the money, where their mouth is and investing in research and development.